Welcome to Healthy Food Place. I am Grace Enemali, sharing ideas and recipes on how to stay healthy naturally. If you can hear any organ of your body when it's working, it is obviously talking and is complaining. One of such organ is our heart. Now, whenever you can hear your heart beating, because it is constantly beating, and you can hear that sound, that is the heart complaining or telling you that something is wrong and you have to do something. And in this very video, we want to look at common causes of heart palpitations and how we can even fix it nutritionally. Now, when you suspect or you are frequently experiencing irregular heartbeat, or you can hear your heart talking, making sound, or either it's beating too high or too low, then it is obviously saying that all is not well. Now, if it happens frequently, you need to worry about. And if it happens accompanied by pain in your heart, then it may be a time to seek help medically. But on a normal day, there are occasions when the heart begins to speak for us to hear. And uncommon, occasions like that includes sometimes when you are low in antioxidants, the imbalance in electrolytes like calcium, magnesium, and your heart begins to race or hit, or run either faster. If you are going through anxiety attack, anxiety is a serious health problem. You will always be experiencing irregular heartbeat or palpitations. Menopausal women, as a result of hormonal changes and other estrogen activities, they also come up with complaints of irregular heartbeat. And I have occasions too when I experience irregular heartbeat. The causes are different in seniors and in some younger people. Now, in most seniors like us, you will always experience, maybe when the blood sugar is low, you will experience the heart. For instance, when I suspect my heart raising or beating either very fast, especially after dinner, I always know that it's time to get up and look for something before it gets worse, because that is an obvious sign that the blood sugar is going below normal. And it can also happen the other way, either with blood pressure and other challenges like that. Now, at other times also, when the cholesterol is high, these are uncommon occasions when it begins to make, when the low density lipoprotein is high, any little thing, your heart begins to palpitate, begin to raise, as if you are afraid, as if the heart can no longer pump or is not able to carry the weight. So in that case, you need to reduce all those processed foods like bread, biscuits, saturated fats. If it's high, you will be experiencing it regularly. At other times also, when the red blood cell is low, the blood is not able to pump, it's not enough. That is anemia or low blood. Something like you are low in iron. You will always be experiencing irregular heartbeat. Any little thing, your heart begins to beat. And at other times, everywhere looks dark. Some other uncomfortable feelings accompanying it. You need to seek help again medically and find out the real cause of it. But on a normal day, if it doesn't come with any things like pains, dizziness, and other symptoms, you could just handle it nutritionally. Reduce the saturated fat. If you are consuming saturated fat, these are some of the things that can help you. Reduce the saturated, reduce too much of carbohydrates in your diet. If you are one that is taking caffeine, too much caffeine can cause your heart to always be raising. Caffeine, you can find them in things like coffee, leafy teas, green teas, even some natural foods like bitter cola. They are all sources. So if you are experiencing irregular heartbeat, palpitation frequently, you may need to look into your diet again and see whether you are consuming too much of the caffeines. And if you are exercising, strenuous exercise all the time, and it's becoming too much, of course, you'll be experiencing this type of irregular heartbeat. At some point, you notice your heart is raising or beating very, very fast. Medications also, if you're on medication, you need to look into your medication. If you are frequently experiencing irregular heartbeat or your heart palpitating, you need to check whether it's coming from the medication. And then some of this electrolyte magnesium, if you are low in magnesium, calcium, you will always be experiencing it, because this is something I have known. These are important minute minerals, but they are very important. When they are not there, the heart is always the one to complain first. And so if you always have it, then you need to include magnesium-rich foods. And you can find them in foods like pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds. You can find them even in sunflower seeds. You can find them in cashew nut. Even the almond is my best choice whenever I suspect that my magnesium is low. If I undergo strenuous exercise, for instance, during the day, of course in the night I may look for magnesium-rich foods, almonds. I look for other seeds to boost the magnesium, because obviously sometimes you lie down, the heart begins to talk for you to hear, because of you are low in some of these minerals. Menopausal woman, you may not have to worry too much if you're experiencing things like palpitations, because it's part of the menopausal symptoms. It's part of those signals that things are changing inside of you, even though you may not be aware of it. But the thing you can do is to reduce processed foods to help you, to reduce foods like trans fats from vegetable oils, and then begin to include more fiber, more liquid foods, include foods that can help balance your electrolyte at all times. Calcium-rich food, magnesium-rich foods. Begin to look into reduce the processed foods, breads and biscuits. You need to take them out, because they are going to be making it worse. The heart palpitation. If you are someone that is always not sleeping, yes, your heart also will be weak. Any little thing, it starts to make sound. Those who are taking alcohol, they may also be experiencing it. Simple things to do to reduce frequency of common heart palpitations. Mark the word common, because if it's happening frequently and comes with dizziness, comes with pains, you obviously do not have to just wait and leave it. You need to seek help. But ordinarily, food, eating right will help you. Number one, if you are overweight and you experience it, lose weight. And to lose weight is very easy. Just reduce all those carbohydrates. Don't joke with protein. Protein is the building block. It's the protein that will actually help you. Focus more on healthy fats if you want to lose weight. Healthy fats like avocados, healthy fats like coconuts, healthy fats like olive oil, peanuts, and such foods, seeds and nuts. Include them to get sufficient daily protein. Foods like eggs will help you. If you are trying to boil the egg, don't fry it. If you are trying to lose weight, lose weight. Number two, ensure that you get sufficient magnesium from your diet. Like in these foods mentioned already, calcium and magnesium are very critical for your heart to go. And then the next is potassium. Ensure that you have a balance of this electrolyte, and you can get them through some foods like sea salt. If you are using the refined table salt, you need to switch to the sea salt, because it's going to help your heart a lot. A lot of you are not aware that sea salt is one of the best foods that helps your body to balance electrolyte, and especially your heart. It's a source of these minute minerals, and that is what I use. That's why I made a video that occasionally you can take it, just one rocky salt in warm water before going to bed. It helps me strengthen your bones and providing you most of these minerals. And then if you are also consuming too much processed foods, you need to stop and consume more whole foods, natural foods, in order to reduce the cases, more frequent cases. Another point is stop the caffeines, whether it's naturally occurring or whichever. Caffeine is one of your worst enemy. If you are going through heart palpitation, you need to stop it. If you are consuming saturated fats, like meat, a lot of meat, and similar food that come with fat, with cholesterol, you need to also reduce it in order to stop the weight on the heart. And at other times also, if you are consuming too much acidic food and you continue, honestly, it's going to result in things like constipation. I have observed occasionally, these are rare occasions, when there is chronic constipation, and the moment the heart begins to race, begins to palpitate, I know that the stomach, the bowel wants to move, and it is obviously also trying to say that there are no sufficient stomach acids, and there are food that can help you. When the stomach acid is low, the heart also will always be palpitating. That's what I noticed. So if there are no sufficient stomach acids, most times you'll be experiencing it. And then you need to include foods like ginger in your diet, foods like garlic to help you, to aid your food that help to aid digestion. That's another thing. Now, if you're experiencing it frequently also, you check if you are even consuming the healthy fats. When you take too much of the healthy fats like coconuts, your heart also will begin to make sound, beat, show signs of being overlabored. And so you need to look into all of this and stop the saturated fat, whether the saturated fat is naturally occurring or is from processed foods. You need to stop the saturated fat because it's one of your heart's worst enemies. Stop all those, whether they're coming from red palm oil or from whichever, all the bad fat, all the processed foods, if you want to reduce, and then the caffeine. Exercise too much. Sometimes it reduces your magnesium. This is where a lot of people are not getting it right. You are not aware that a lot of these minerals, some of them are more active when you are exercising. And when you are exercise too much, it looks like it's depleted. And the next thing you notice when you sit to relax is your heart begins to race. And so in such a case, you need to also have in mind that maybe you need a boost in your magnesium in order to stop. That is what I do, as a matter of fact. Each time I go for strenuous walk, for whatever reason, I don't wait for the night to come. Once it is evening, I always try to beef up my magnesium because obviously I know I will experience something like heart palpitation or that tension that comes with all of that. You need to also include iron-rich foods if you are always experiencing it. You can get them from the low-calorie foods because when you are consuming food that are high in calories, especially for seniors, and you are experiencing irregular heart, you need to reduce the calorie in your diet. Foods like cassava products, starches, a lot of them. So find out the cause of your own irregular heartbeat and deal with it nutritionally if it's not occurring too frequently and does not come with other more serious symptoms as already stated. It can something that can easily be tackled because each time I experience irregular heartbeat, it's usually the heart talking to me. And once the right thing is done, it stops immediately. That is what happens in my own case, like in the case of constipation that I mentioned. And if you have other concerns about palpitation or you have a contribution about it, you can also drop it. One more point before we move. If you are also consuming too much healthy fats like avocados, food that are high in calorie, and you're experiencing irregular heartbeat, you need to reduce the high calorie foods too and go on low calorie foods. It may be that you need more of the low calorie veggies like carrots, cabbage, cucumbers, get plants and some nuts to help you deal with it. Remember the antioxidant vitamin E, in addition to magnesium, calcium, is also one of your heart's best friend. Remember to include omega-3 rich foods like the fatty fish. In case you are even low in omega-3, it can also be causing it in that case. So So many of these and even more. Don't forget, food is our medicine, but moderation is our rule. And if you love this message, hit the subscription button and don't forget to share. Thank you for watching.